Hello, everyone. A week ago today, March 10th, the 96th Annual Academy Awards was broadcast. And as I have done for the past 5 years, I did not see the show. I saw clips, I saw certain things that I had been made aware were particularly worth seeing. I went on YouTube and hunted up Ryan Gosling's I'm Just Ken production number and enjoyed the heck out of it. But I haven't seen a full Oscars ceremony in 5 years or more. Just haven't been moved to sit down and watch the whole production. Nonetheless, the awards still mean something to me, still mean at least a little bit, because they are, or at least they pretend to be, a recognition of quality. And it frustrates me sometimes when quality does not get acknowledged. So, a week late, I am making an Oscar reaction video. And the title of this is Women and the Oscars. But here's a surprise. It's actually not a rant. I'm here to say a few positive things because I remember, however much people might think that the ceremony is heavily biased in favor of male directors, male screenwriters, and movies that feature predominantly male casts or at least male protagonists. I can remember a time not so far in the past when it was a little bit worse. I'm referring to 2019. Back in 2019, the best reviewed movie on Rotten Tomatoes was a movie directed by Lulu Wang called The Farewell. It concerned a family of Chinese American immigrants who returned to China for a wedding, a family event, and had to make a choice as to whether or not to tell the matriarch of the family whether she was dying of cancer. It was actually a dramedy. There were moments of humor and moments of great poignance, and I saw it with my husband, and we agreed the critics had it right this time. This was an excellent movie, and it was the kind of movie, not a blockbuster, not something that would get a huge amount of attention from large crowds, but just a really high quality movie. And again, the best reviewed movie to be released in 2019. And it was very female led. The protagonist was a female character played by Awkwafina. And of course, you had Lulu Wang directing and writing. So I thought, as I was getting ready to hear the announcements for Oscar nominations, that this movie was going to show up in a number of different categories. It was going to show up in original screenplay, actress, director, and picture. I really had high hopes that this would be the year a female-directed movie starring a female lead would actually win an Oscar. But then the announcements were made. And here are the films that the Academy decided were worthier of Best Picture nominations than The Farewell. Parasite, Ford vs. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, you notice much about that lineup. You'll notice that the only one of those 10 films that focuses on female characters. Little Women. That's the token female-led movie in the whole set of 10. The only other movie that had a female role substantial enough for the performer to enter the Best Actress category was Marriage Story, which, while Scarlett Johansson's character does play perhaps a co-lead, the real focus of the movie is on Adam Driver. And to be honest, I can't bring myself to watch that film because every time I see a clip of it, it's always those two characters screaming at each other. And that's just, I don't want to spend almost 2 hours or 2 hours plus watching that kind of thing over and over and over again. But hey, at least one of the nominees besides Little Women had a female role big enough to qualify its performer for Best Actress. As far as Best Supporting Actress, you had 3 nominees in the category who were rewarded for performances in one of the Best Picture nominees. You had Little Women, of course, as actress and with nominations for actress and supporting actress. And then you had Marriage Story again with Laura Dern this time. And Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit. And of the movies that did not have a female protagonist, probably the one that is the most girl-friendly, if you will, is Jojo Rabbit, despite the gimmick being you have a young boy growing up in 1930s Nazi-led Germany who imagines his imaginary friend as Adolf Hitler. That's the big hook of the film. But there are 2 at least somewhat significant female roles in that film. But looking at that lineup, it's just so dude heavy. And these are the kinds of movies that the Academy was telling us are the best. And it's been frustrating to me for years that the Best Picture lineups are so dominated, have been so dominated by movies about men, as if movies about men are just somehow inherently better than movies about women. That's the rant part. Now the rant is over because after that, there were a few complaints about it by some people other than me. You know, why are the major movies that get nominations so frequently about men? Things changed up a little bit the year after that when Best Picture went to Nomadland and Best Director went to the director of Nomadland, Chloe Zhao, a female director and a Best Picture winner with a female lead. The year after that, Coda won Best Picture. Again, female protagonist. And then finally, last year, we had Everything Everywhere All at Once, in which not only did the movie take Best Picture, but Michelle Yeoh, its female lead, took Best Actress. So things have been getting better. And so this is the lineup of Best Picture nominees from the year 2023. Oppenheimer, American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. Of those movies, here are the ones with female leads. Barbie, obviously, Anatomy of a Fall, Past Lives, and Poor Things. That's 4 out of 10. But a case could be made for Killers of the Flower Moon as well. The female lead, Molly Gladstone, Molly's the character she plays. Lily Gladstone, please don't crucify me. I admire Lily Gladstone greatly. Her performance was amazing, and it was important enough in the Academy's eyes for her to go into the Best Actress category rather than the Best Supporting Actress category, where it initially seemed she was going to end up. But even though she may not get quite as much screen time as the other Best Actress nominees, she is very much the beating heart of that film. So that means there are 5 out of 10, half the movies nominated for Best Picture for the year 2023 have significant female roles. And could it be better? Sure it could. Oppenheimer did win, and while Oppenheimer is very obviously a movie very much about men, well, of course it's going to be about men. It's the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer. What else can you expect? So, Oppenheimer is one of those movies that I would call a movie about men, but not necessarily a movie that is both about men and made specifically for men. But nonetheless, yes, that took Best Picture and most of the awards, but such a lineup of movies with a significant female presence getting honored with nominations for top Academy Awards and sometimes winning. Justine Triet was an Oscar winner for her screenplay for Anatomy of a Fall. So, yes, there is progress being made. We're making steps in the right direction. Will this year be as good a year for movies about women as last year was? I don't know. But I love to see it. And so I just thought I should give a little good news about the Oscars instead of letting complaints dominate the whole discussion. Because there was a lot to love about the movies that were made in this past year. Thank you.